Ready?
Alright guys, this is Team VCMC's video blog. We're just talking about challenges 2, 3, and 4 all together. So first off, challenge 2, Richard was with me, and that wasn't really a motorsport event, so how'd it go?
Yeah, so we finished in 3rd place. So moving on to challenge number 3, here's Said Kosovic.
Yeah. As you can see, that wasn't too important for us.
All right, thanks.
But on to challenge number 3, Gymkhana.
Yep, that was a really good event. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere. I was up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
At a soon-to-be really good facility, and I got to give it up to Scion. They actually did a really good organization of this event. Unlike, you know, anyways, moving on. Yeah, challenge number 3. That was what was it? Gymkhana, right?
Gymkhana.
We were really excited to do this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
It's different, but the same for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast-paced. There's a lot of changes of direction.
It's autocross style.
Yeah.
Only weird and tighter in some areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, we did use our patrol data
In the Gymkhana.
Solo Storm and Gymkhana. That really helped. I mean,
Big thanks to Mike.
if you if you don't know necessarily what Gymkhana is, I mean you should, because Ken Block made it famous. Actually, he trademarked that, so
Yeah.
better be careful who uses the word. Basically, it's a series of elements that you have to go around, whether it's once or figure 8, or you have to do a full circle, and quite often they're so tight that you got to throw the car in the slide, but not always.
Mm-hmm.
Not always. Sometimes the fastest way around is a grip turn, and I mean we really liked it because it wasn't a judged event. It was just here's your time, right? And the time doesn't lie, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Out of control, in control.
Yeah.
How
It's
much
kind of
speed
cool.
do you get up to?
I was at the top of 2nd gear twice, so it was faster than a lot of Gymkhanas that I've seen. I mean, I tried to do as much research as I could before, and it seemed like it was all 1st gear, so I was like, no problem. And then the first 2 corners of the challenge were top of 2nd gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was full blower when the tires were warm at least.
I mean, it wasn't Ken Block, Gymkhana ripping around the streets of San Francisco in 4th and 5th gear, but
Yeah.
anyways, it was pretty good. I think for these kind of cars, for the power that they have,
Yeah.
and for the size of the facility they had there, it was pretty good. You know, top
And it
of
was
2nd
cool,
gear.
like visually, it was really
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I didn't get to see, well, I got to see the other drivers run, but it was
Yeah.
like, it was in a little,
Like a
sort
bowl.
of, it was like a little bowl. It was, I don't know what they would use that for any other time. It was just sort of like a staging area almost for the drag
Yeah,
racing.
that's exactly what it
And
was.
yeah, it's gonna look really good on video.
Yeah, we'll show you some clips, but I had a chance to work with Richard to kind of help him out a little bit through the practice. We had about an hour practice, and right off the bat, actually, it was really good. Richard, one of his fastest times was his first run. I mean,
And then I started to push too hard
yeah, he started pushing, finding the limit,
and
started-
hitting things.
That's right, punting the barrels. I mean, it was kind of funny. Luckily, these things are empty, so they just go flying, and then they have to reconfigure it. And then some of the walls and boxes that he had to go into and spin around and punt them out of the way, and yeah,
Just
it
trying
was-
to find the edges
yeah.
of the car and stuff. And then once you do it once, you start looking at them the next time around.
Mhm.
So I start looking at it, and then I'll nail it that time too.
Yeah, more than once he'd come in and his mirrors would be folded in. What's going on? And basically he was hitting things. He was so close to them.
Yeah, I was hitting
going
the
around the
barrels.
barrels that they would just kind of fold the mirror.
They had 2 barrels that we had to figure 8 around, and I would hit the mirrors
Yeah.
pretty much every time by the end.
So in the practice, I think we were stacking up second.
Mhm.
We had the second fastest times. I have to give it up to Sasha of the Top Tuner team. He was driving really well. He was just really precise. And
He's a very good driver.
yeah, some of the gear also that they had on their car made it possible to really light them up at really low speeds.
Yeah,
And,
that's where we really saw the difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're ahead of the team from Quebec, Swag Racing. That was pretty good.
Mhm.
So after that hour, we were basically on to our challenge runs.
Mhm.
And it looked like we were actually challenging Top Tuner for first place. How many runs did we have?
4.
You took, that's right. And it was basically 3 runs, and then you did your video interviews.
Mhm.
And
And then they send you out for one last go.
yeah, one last go, trying to trying to make it all intense and pressure.
Yeah.
And we were looking pretty comfy in second place, and Richard went out for his fourth run, and it was actually even a way faster time. And
Yeah.
as we're all packing up, here comes Babu, and out of nowhere, I swear to God, he drops his time down by seconds.
It was a second and a
incredible.
half or something like that. So I went from having him covered by a good over a second
Yeah.
to he almost beat Sasha's time.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of seems like that's the kind of style of driver he is, where it's sort of like all or nothing.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to him. I mean, he did it when he needed to do it.
Yeah.
And it's even more impressive that it was on the last run because we had that break.
Mhm.
And when I launched for the fourth run, the first two corners are really fast. And on my third run, I didn't have to lift in the second corner because I was pushing really hard and the tires were warm. The last run, I had to do a massive lift just because the front end wouldn't tug in because there was no tire temperature. So almost really impressive that they said they made some changes to the car.
Yeah,
but
they threw on different tires. They were playing around with pressures, and I think they ended up dropping their pressures so low that they actually lost a lot of the sliding of all their turns, which actually ended up helping him. He thought he was actually doing worse because the car would only like slide 3/4 of the way around, and then it would hook up. But actually, it was an advantage because then he could accelerate out of the corners. So
it didn't look like anything special, but
Yeah.
I mean that's how autocross and that kind of stuff works. But it ended up being really close between first and third and us. I mean we came in third, but I mean I think we were within a second.
yeah, it was pretty close. I mean, everybody kicked it up a notch on the third run, and I mean, yeah, we came third there, but it was actually pretty tough to swallow that because we worked so hard, and Richard, I got to give it up to him. He did an absolutely fantastic job in the practice. I mean,
And in the I think I actually had my best run in the time
the final one.
The final run, and that sucked because not sucked, but it was also really interesting because up until then I didn't have a clean run. Even in practice, an hour of practice, I didn't have one clean run because I was always trying something. I was always trying to enter something differently, or seeing how deep into something I could go, or I would just straight miss a breaking point or something like that. It was very difficult to enter some of the pieces. So to get it right in all four of the runs, I don't think I hit anything in all four of them. Maybe I should have tried harder.
I mean, that's what you got to do to be a competitor. You got to lay it on the line when it counts. You got to have luck on your side too. But the harder you work, the luckier you get. It was pretty cool watching Richard and fine tuning the car and some of the elements that he was doing well, and then the other ones that he was absolutely going bonsai into and just destroying the barriers. And I think the car took a little bit of abuse, but I mean that's good.
It was just paint on that one.
Just paint, okay.
Just paint on that practice.
Yeah.
And then took third in that event, which is too bad because I don't think it really represents how close it was or how well we did. I think we did really well, so third place kind of sucks there, but I think we still did really well.
Yep.
And then we moved to drift that same day.
Yep.
The videos will be separated when they come out by a distance in time, and then what do you think about drift?